Throughout time, people have told stories. Whether it's a cave painting on some random rock in the Sahara, a hieroglyph on an obelisk, or a rom-com written by a guy who likes wiggling pointy melee weapons at people. A life worth living has stories worth being told. Greats from Stephen King have shaped pop culture for generations. Lovecraftian monstrosities ripping apart a universe, and a friendship formed by a ring. Tales of Fire and Ice gripped the world for 8 years, spurring debates on critiques on what television series should be and should be able to show. It forever left a mark on the world and won't soon be forgotten, including its ending. It gave strangers something to talk about, colleagues something to break the ice with around the water cooler. It showed Disney that a ridiculously expensive series like The Mandalorian was viable. Without it, we wouldn't have a Baby Yoda. WandaVision set the bar when it came to Disney's new MCU series, and although Falcon and the Winter Soldier had its downsides, I still really enjoyed getting to know the two characters a bit better off their big screen. Whether it's Eleven, Mando, Bucky, or any of the other lovable characters from any AAA series of the past 3 years that have you chomping at the bit for Rona to blow over so we can get back to some filming, the fact that stories, whether on a virtual page or big screen or fresh off the bookshelf of your nearest bookstore, have made a monumental impact on this generation is undeniable. As much as I ended up on the edge of my seat when Thanos snapped his fingers, I can't help but say that my favorite medium to tell a story in is Japanese animation, or anime. Anime is the Japanese word for animation that the West has used to describe specifically Japanese styles of animation. I won't bore you with the history details. To give you a broad idea, I would have to mention the furthest back that we can track the first anime film would have to be 1917, and it was by the three fathers of Japanese animation, Shimokawa, Koichi, and Kitayama. But before you fall asleep, let's get to why you're actually here. Why do people watch anime? And I'll be referring to the Western audiences here over the Japanese, as this is kind of just like a Sunday afternoon for them, watching some Sunday cartoons. For me, there is a certain expression and feeling that I get from watching anime that other mediums don't deliver on. Where bad acting on The Flash or Arrow would put me off completely from watching any of the remaining DC IPs on television. Even your average anime has the ability to keep me going from some interesting visuals or characters' designs that live action series often lack due to budget constraints or bad costume design that just completely take me out of the moment. For a live action Hollywood blockbuster to be immersive, the characters need to be relatable, believable, and the special effects need to be on par or better than the last movie you saw on the big screen, or you'll just sit there spotting Starbucks cups and bad CGI. Anime has this ability to take you off to a strange world far removed from ours. Here they can do whatever they want. The beauty lies in how unbelievable things really are. Take a good look at your second favorite waifu. Are her eyes, mouth and nose honestly any attributes of her remotely realistic? No, they simply aren't. There are art styles that lend to more realistic characters and environments, but mostly they aren't. We as weebly hatchlings have been trained from a young age to see that line in the center of the face and instinctively know, and it's actually a nose. The artists do work to make sure that our brains can play the association game and draw parallels with features we see every day and make us believe that those characters are relatable. They can be placed in a gruesome world, be treated more horrifically than you could have ever imagined yourself, and your brain will still play the association game to evoke those emotions only a brilliant actor or actress could pull off on the big screen. On the flip side, you can find yourself in the back streets of Tokyo where a lonely schoolgirl sits under a moth-swarmed lantern, or on a pirate ship sailing the seven seas, or on a journey to catch them all. No matter the situation you find yourself in, anime can portray it in a believable way. And if you just go the extra step to choose to believe in it and the world that they represent, you'll find yourself falling into a state where you feel exactly what the artist is trying to make you feel. For some reason, it's amplified. Using the same techniques Walt Disney made to make you cry every time you hear that gunshot ring out at the start of Bambi. Or the fire I remember so vividly smoke the fox out of the hole in Fox and the Hound. Or the goosebumps I get every time someone says, "Long live the king." These artists can make you feel for a deer, a fox, a dog, or a lion cub. So why can't they make you feel for a cute anime girl with pigtails and tears in her eyes looking for a big brother? God, just writing that made me feel things. I like to describe anime as a floodgate. As long as the gate is in place, all the anime can't get to you. But as soon as Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, or Princess Mononoke come along, and you let the gates open just a little bit, just a smidge, you might begin to feel some anime feelies. I grew up watching Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, along with Western cartoons. My afternoons were filled with Ninja Turtles, cat dogs, football heads, and a terrified dog and dual discs. Running around outside, I swung my stick, imagining myself cutting through droplets of water as the foolish samurai wielding his magic sword did. I watched Animax for the brief moment that it actually showed anime in South Africa. I fell in love with Eureka and Rem. I watched with question marks in my eyes when a naked girl began chopping up people with invisible arms. Hellsing and Fullmetal Alchemist scratched an itch I never even knew I had. That led to Bleach and Naruto, and I fell into a hole I've never been able to get out of ever since. What anime does is disconnect you from reality. It takes you to unbelievable worlds with unbelievable characters and puts them in ridiculous situations. It makes stupid stuff happen so often that you sit there thinking, what the frig am I watching? And you go all the way up to the level of, yeah, it's anime. Makes sense. When you watch anime subbed, reading subtitles and hearing a language largely only spoken on one Pacific island, it causes an even bigger wedge between you and the media you're consuming. All these factors just make it more and more impossible to find any realism in what you're watching. But that's exactly it. There is no realism in what you see. The realism lies in the emotions and characters and talented voice actors who convey those emotions in a way that other mediums don't. Because it makes no sense. As soon as you accept the fact and let the anime through the floodgates, you'll be swimming in waifus and husbandos before you know it. You open your eyes in a different world where a god of space and time is holding a battle royale where individuals have diaries that can tell them the future. The last one standing becomes the next god. It doesn't make any sense, you just accept it. And every season there's some new weird anime that you know might not be good, but it could be interesting because they could take it in any direction. It's really fun. It's gotten so incredibly out of hand that watching a madly disturbed man enforce his sexual revenge on one of the characters that turn him into the mess that he is makes me sit back and go, yo, okay guys, maybe we've gone too far. When's the next episode coming out exactly? There is no one reason as to why people watch anime. What I've given here was my reason. It helped me through some really tough times when I needed to keep my mind busy or unwind after a long day of work. Nothing is as distracting and fun as getting fully immersed in the daily life of a straight A student trying to tutor quintuplets to pay off his family debt. We've had a rough almost 2 years now, and the anime I watched during lockdown after lockdown really helped keep me sane. It is escapism at its finest, and I feel the largest misunderstanding comes from it being referred to as Japanese cartoons or having the strange stigma associated with it being weird and out there, but that's exactly the selling point for me. It's a weird place where anything you can imagine can happen. It's not limited to the scrutiny of Western tastes or Japanese social norms. It's a place where creative people can write and draw whatever they want in a country where standing out is one of the worst things you can do. Tentacles doing strange things? They've got you. Cat boys and fox girls? Yeah, they've got you. If you think it's a weird kink, anime got you. If you're lonely and want to feel a bit of someone's happiness, you can live vicariously through someone that loves something so much that it is unhealthy. Sci-fi bike awesomeness in a post-apocalyptic world? Anime got you. High fantasy worlds struggling to beat goblins? Anime got you. They can be set off in a faraway world or in your backyard, and somehow it still feels believable. Anime is a form of media that if you give it a chance, it'll take you on an incredible journey, more than most mediums can. It takes what made Disney a huge corporation today in the opposite direction, where someone said, hey, what if tentacles and onsen scenes were a thing? It's a strange entity from a strange place that does very strange things with strange people. Enjoying it doesn't make you strange though. It makes you a weeb that enjoys escaping just as much as your neighbor Karen, but she does with a bottle of wine instead. Anime is very much up to your taste and what you want to get out of it. We all like escaping our daily lives. How you do it is up to you. Hiking, going to the gym, drinking, partying, or puffing on a fat baseball bat. Whatever works for you works for you. The reason people watch anime is it's just a hobby. It's a niche that not everybody might be into, but when you're part of a community that's into it, it's really fun. Mostly. Once you give it an honest try, you might be surprised to find that you like it as much as we do. Whether it's sucking on breast milk for superpowers, being emotionally and physically abused by an adorable underclassman, or waking up in another world as a slime after some horrific accident, you're all welcome here. Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy that still looks kind of a bit like a hobo. Any case, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, Smash the like button like it's your meat on a lonely Saturday night. And check out the rest of the channel if you enjoyed to see they hit subscribe. If you think you know someone who should maybe watch this video, send it to them. I always appreciate the community growing. Anyway guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.